What's the biggest betrayal you've ever experienced? I gave my boss a kidney and he fired me 3 months later. I worked at a shipping company for 8 years. Started in the warehouse, moved up to logistics coordinator. Nothing fancy, but the pay was decent, and I liked my coworkers. My boss, Greg, was one of those guys who always talked about how we were a family. Pizza parties for hitting targets. Group texts on weekends. You know the type. Last January, Greg called a team meeting. He looked awful. Pale, thin, dark circles under his eyes. He told us he had kidney disease and needed dialysis 3 times a week. His sister wasn't a match. His dad was too old. The waiting list was years long. Everyone felt bad. We did a fundraiser, bought him a nice card, but I kept thinking about it. I'm O positive, universal donor. My uncle had donated a kidney to a stranger when I was a kid and lived totally fine after. I got tested without telling anyone. Took a day off, went to the hospital, did all the blood work. 2 weeks later, they called. Perfect match. I told Greg in his office after everyone left one night. He stared at me for like 30 seconds. Then he started crying. This big guy in his 50s just broke down. Said I was saving his life. Promised me he'd cover my medical costs, give me 8 weeks paid leave, and when I came back, there'd be a promotion waiting. Logistics manager, 15% raise. The surgery was in March. My girlfriend Jess drove me to the hospital at 5 in the morning. I remember the anesthesiologist telling me to count backward from 10. I got to 7. Recovery sucked. Way worse than I expected. I couldn't lift anything over 10 pounds for 6 weeks. Had to sleep sitting up because lying flat hurt. The scar was huge. Jess had to help me shower for the first 2 weeks. But Greg's surgery went great. He sent me flowers, called me every few days to check in, told me to take my time coming back. I returned in May. The whole office had this welcome back banner. Greg gave a speech about how I was a hero and the company was lucky to have me. Everyone clapped. I felt good, like I'd done something that actually mattered. June was normal. I did my work, helped train the new warehouse kid, stayed late a few times to help with a big client deadline. July is when things changed. Greg called another meeting, said the company lost 2 major contracts. Revenue was down 40%. They had to make cuts. I figured I was safe. You don't fire the guy who gave you a kidney, right? Wrong. I was the first one let go. Greg called me into his office on a Thursday afternoon. HR lady was already sitting there with papers. He wouldn't look at me. Just said the company was going in a different direction and my position was being eliminated. 2 weeks severance. Health insurance through the end of the month. I just sat there. Couldn't even talk. The HR lady pushed the papers across the desk. Greg stared at his computer screen. Finally, I asked him how he could do this. He gave me part of his body. He looked up then, said it wasn't personal. Business is business. And if I'm being honest, my performance hasn't been the same since the surgery. I stood up and walked out. Didn't even clean out my desk that day. Came back after hours with Jess and packed my stuff in a box. 2 months later, I'm still looking for work. Every interview asks about the gap in my resume. I can't exactly say I took time off to donate a kidney to my boss who then fired me. Sounds insane.